The rain is a bit of a nuisance, and if you'd like to move a little bit forward, so people don't have to shout, but see how it goes.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. I am Bleta Polloshka, student of Management Economics at the American University of Kosovo, and today my project is about fostering economic growth and the development of the free economic zone. The presentation is going to start with a problem statement, then the goals. We will have some background information, methodology findings, discussion analysis, some recommendations, and conclusions. This project addresses the issue of slow economic development in Gjakova. This city, as most of other cities in Kosovo, has stagnated since 1999. And Gjakova was once an industrialized city, but today does not even resemble the city it was. All the factors that were once there are now dysfunctional, and this has caused the unemployment rates to go up and up. And these unemployment rates have created that people migrate from Gjakova to other cities in Kosovo or even abroad. Recently, the free economic zone has been established in Gjakova with the purpose of attracting foreign and international investors with the aim of developing the economy. So given these conditions, the goals of this project will be to assess what has happened so far with this zone and what is expected to happen later on in the zone. Some background information, special economic zones. First of all, free economic zones are part of special economic zones. These zones are areas which different laws have different laws and regulations from the rest of the country. Basically, the state laws do not apply to this area in particular. There are different kinds of special economic zones, like the free trade zones, export processing zones, single factory zones, etc. But my project is about the free economic zones and the one in Gjakova. Free economic zones have been a major influential innovation in the world of economic development because they have shown that they have helped developing countries develop their economies. Some examples are like the United Arab Emirates, China, Korea, and Europe. In United Arab Emirates, like 40 to 30 years ago, we had a slow economic development, but with the institution of these free economic zones, like the one in Dubai called the Jebel Ali Free Zone, it is a zone that today employs 160,000 workers, and it accounts for 20% of the total FDIs of the United Arab Emirates. China as well is a country that has been developed thanks to the free economic zone. Shenzhen is one country that has showed that a city from being a small city can become an urban metropolis. As well in Korea, which has a very, very good geographical position. In Europe, free economic zones are not so much developed, maybe because the historical development of the countries, like those in as a free zone. Gjakova used to be a very industrialized city, and the past in the 16th and 17th century, there was a place, Old Bazaar, when various craftsmanship were developed there, and later on in 1970s, it was the most industrialized city in Yugoslavia because it had manufactured a large assortment of products and had a lot of large companies like Jatex, which is a textile company, A.U.K, which is an electronics company, Metallico, which produces metalworks, and A.U.K, which is a food and beverage company. In 1975 and 1990, Gjakova had employed 16,000 workers. However, in 1989, after the status of Kosovo was revoked from Serbia, many of these companies that socially owned enterprises that used to operate there were closed down, and many people lost their jobs. This later on was manifested by the war of 1999, which even destroyed some of the facilities. The machines were stolen, and the old Grand Bazaar was completely burned to the ground. And after the war, privatization was selected as a measure for economic development in Kosovo. In 2002, the Kosovo Privatization Agency was formed, and this agency was responsible to oversee the privatization of these companies. This is the case in Gjakova, where it used to have 39 socially owned enterprises, and under a law which was made before 1989, A.U.K decided that that law was still valid. Therefore, most of the socially owned enterprises had their statuses disputed. Only 13 of those have been managed to privatize during the past 15 years, and some of them are still awaiting their privatization. Only Dubajine and Elektromotori have their statuses recognized. Gjakova was established a zone under the law 04L159 for economic zones of Kosovo. Besides Gjakova, Mitrovica was also an economic zone, and the reason being first of all, their past industrialization and their geographical position. Gjakova being near Albania and having an airport, commercial airport, non-commercial airport, and Mitrovica being closer to Serbia. The purposes of this zone in Gjakova were to increase the number of jobs and foreign investors, which means that people will have higher income. There will be one common place for doing business, so businesses will can interact with each other, will increase foreign and domestic competition, as well as increase exports, because as we know, Kosovo has a trade imbalance. So this will decrease that imbalance. The methodology for this project was that I conducted interviews with people relevant to the topic, especially the mayor of Gjakova, who at the time when Gjakova was established as zone, was a Ministry of Trade and Industry. Other interviews include people from the socially owned enterprises. A lot of information was taken from the municipality of Gjakova, from the Office for Economic Development. the initial assumptions for the project were that Gjakova, with this zone, will not only be able to create new businesses, but we will be able to reopen the socially owned enterprises that once used to operate in Gjakova. However, during the research and the interviews, it was found out that the revitalization of these companies is not possible because they have already damaged their facilities, and they have their machinery stolen. Another fact is that these companies have lost their markets, so there's no market for their products anymore. The other one is that the workers people who used to work in these companies are almost retired. Some of them have already retired, so there are not a lot of people who will be able to go back to work. However, the free economic zone has its effects on labor in Inca. According to the data from the Economic Development Office in the municipality, we have like 60,000 people of working age, 15 to 64, who will be able to work in the new businesses that will be opened in Gjakova. And according to their education, to their level of education, we can see that there are a lot of people who have finished their secondary education and secondary professional education, which means that we have a pretty young workforce to work with if we manage to get enough investors to invest in our city. And if all these jobs can be generated, then this means that people will have higher incomes. Also, you can see that we have 3,820 people with a bachelor's degree and 407 people with a master's degree. This means that this might look a very small number, but this is enough for the market in Gjakova, and it's enough for people who want to work in the administrative places of the newly established company. The free economic zone has also effects on market for goods and services because people, if more people get employed in the zone, then they will be able to spend their money in other businesses that already exist in Gjakova. There are like 4,297 private businesses in Gjakova, which will of course benefit from other people working in other factories. The non-monetary benefits from this zone are that we know that Gjakova has had a population which has suffered a lot since the socially owned enterprises were closed. constituted. So the decision making was was a little bit delayed. If we compare ourselves to the countries in the region, we don't see a lot of differences because Albania only has one free zone, which is Blora. It was created in 2009, and we don't have it is not a zone that it has had much of the investments or has been developed a lot. Macedonia has 4 free zones, which are somewhat developed, and they have created 1,600 jobs, but not more than this. And in Serbia is a little bit a different case because it has 13 free zones, and these zones were established a long time before. So they have been managed to develop more, and also Serbia has companies that have like Fiat or Siemens, which have some of their factories in Serbia, and Kosovo just now has its free economic zones. If we combine these countries together, if the free economic zones in all these countries will not only bring economic benefits to the region, but they will also bring stability. The recommendations for the zone will be that to promote the free economic zone, as we are aware of, many businesses in Kosovo are not aware of the benefits that developing their business in the free economic zone means. So the first recommendation is so the municipality can develop this, can promote the zone, and this promotion can be by presentations in public and electronic media, campaigns and promotional programs, and trade fairs. Trade fairs are the best way to get in touch with the investors because you are able to see them face to face and see what they think. Another recommendation is to create a secure environment to do business. Many foreign investors are looking in a place where they can invest freely, and a secure environment can be created in a place where there is a proper legislation that protects new businesses. However, this legislation should be supported by a non-corrupted legislative body. The other important thing is that businesses need to have access 24 hours to utilities such as water and electricity, as well as the third important one is that the municipality offers the infrastructure and facilities for this to develop. The municipality has started working on this. They have the so-called they have a strategy which they can offer. You can open a business in 48 hours. So if an investor comes to the business registration office and then they work with your papers, and then you already have your business within 48 hours. If the zone is successful, we will have a high economic development, not only in Gjakova, but this will help the whole state as a whole. However, the zone has not even a year that has been established, so the effects of the zone we can expect in the period from 2015 to 2018. This zone will bring growth, which growth will bring more jobs meaning that we have more income, and people have a higher purchasing power parity. They can buy more stuff.
Any questions?
Have there been any educational institutions that have moved into these free economic zones?
Education.
Such as a privatized university or college or high school, that kind of thing exists in the UAE, and I was wondering if there was any trend in that direction here.
There are some private universities in Gjakova, and as well as private high school, but they're not a result of the economic zone.
Okay, and they're not in the zone?
No.
Okay.
They were created before the zone. However, now they are talking to open a vet school where people can, but it's not finished, finalized yet.
I think that the municipalities working hard at this project, but of those many thousands of companies that are there, do you sense that there is more optimism? They see that investment is going to take place? What is your sense with this change?
In the interview with the mayor, she said, "I was hoping that we will be able to revitalize one of these, at least some of them." But she said that we're not in the socialist system when we have those large companies that employ thousands of workers. So we expect to have more small companies, creative ones that produce creative products, so we can export them to other countries.
Does she sense there's a more positive environment with this change?
Yes, but as I said earlier, this all depends also on the central government's decision, because most of the decisions are made in the central government. So the fact that we didn't have a government has created a lag between the day when the zone was instituted.
I was wondering too, with all these old socially owned enterprises and organisations, what proportion of them were just closed compared to the proportion that were actually destroyed? Were they mainly just closed, or were they actually physically damaged?
Most of them are physically.
Most of them are physically damaged. So what percentage were just closed? 10%? 30%?
10%.
So very small. So even that small percentage that were just closed, do you sense that assets are just, after all this time, that assets have gone way down? They're not
Yes,
worth anything?
they have gone way down. We have some of the companies are still operating, but the people working in there are just, their role is just to guard the facilities, and they don't actually do work.
Zero maintenance.
So they don't produce anything.
Any final question? Okay, thank you very much.